This is Monday morning. I think it's the 12th of November. These are the first two guys that are teeing off. And if they had their way, that tee box would be there every morning, all day long. They're so early, they're ahead of the guy that sets up the tee box. And neither one of these guys can reach the green from there. They have to run it down the cart path or bail out to the right to reach the green from there. They don't have the game anymore. But they insist that that tee box should be there every day to harass me. Okay? If that tee box was there all day long and you sell 150 rounds and 100 of those people hit more than one ball because they're all amateurs and beginners and never had a lesson, here's the guy to set up the tee box. All right? He's going to let them hit from there. He's been told we'll put the tee box someplace else. But they insist. This is the pissing match I'm going on with these two guys. I've already had it out with them. I confronted them one morning when they did the exact same thing. Only the tee box was set up. Now the grounds crew is getting in on it. Okay, we're going to hit from back there. All right, that spot has a history. And I know I live here. If you sell a lot of greens fees today, probably by 8 o'clock, if it starts early, by 8 o'clock one of these houses up here is going to be hit. Because you're going to have carts. When I see a cart come through, it's a Sundance golf business cart. It's not a privately owned cart. That's when the hair stands up on the back of my head. Because that means they're out-of-towners. All right? They think they got the game. They're not people who live here. And they're not pro golfers. If they did, they'd have their own cart. Okay? They'd be a little more into the game. This is ridiculous. Now, if that kid marks that tee box and leaves it there for the rest of the day, I'm under the gun. I'm a landing zone for everybody that walks up there that's got a loose cannon. Anybody that never fired a cannon before and they don't know how to do the math and figure it out, see, he's putting it where it's supposed to be. These guys, if you let them, every morning would move that back to the corner, tee off, and leave it there. Look at this guy. This is what I mean about they ain't got the game. They don't have the game to play this. All right? There he is. His first shot went right there. His first shot went right there. He didn't even get close to the green. Move up. Got a couple egomaniacs here that don't want to admit that they can't hit the green anymore. There. That's where everybody wants to be. Every morning from that tee in that bailout area where you see them. Okay? That's where everybody's aiming. The only trouble with everybody aiming in that bailout area is I'm over here on the side of the bailout area. They got to aim at my house to ride the cart path down to the bailout area. That's the way they play the hole, these old guys. They don't have the game to fly it to the green. Put that tee box where these old guys with one club can fly and hit the green. They can't anymore. And I have to pay the price for it. On the bottom line, is whatever them or one of their counterparts or one of their peers or another golfer comes up from that exact location and he crushes one offline 15 or 20 degrees, he's just taken out a window, somebody's window, or somebody's taking somebody's head off. These guys are being selfish in the morning to want that tee box back there to please their ego. Maybe 10 years ago when they first moved here, they made that shot with a 7-iron and stuffed it. Now they can't. Now they're using woods and they're running it down the cart path because they haven't got their ego is too frail to move up. Put that tee box where you're putting an iron back in their hand. All right? Put an iron back in this guy's hand, like a middle iron, a 7-iron up to a pitching wedge to hit that shot. You got him back here with a 5-wood trying to hit a shot. Right? And he knows the only way he can make it to the green is to run it down the cart path. Aim right. I hear everybody say it. If I had an audio recording device where I could record every conversation on that tee box, anybody that comes up there, they tell their buddy that's never played here, aim right. If you aim left, you're going into the lake. Give me a break here. Help me out. How about my quality of life? Is this reckless endangerment? Charlie Waters can go to the police, make a phone call, a verbal, to a policeman and say, I feel threatened because this guy, every time he comes in the meeting, he wants to talk about something I don't want to talk about. And he's becoming a nuisance in the meeting because we don't want to talk about what he wants to talk about. And he has a legitimate reason to talk about it. And we're not going to let him. Not in an open forum, so we have to... Charlie calls and makes a verbal. Okay? And tells him he feels threatened by me asking questions. That's all I'm doing is asking questions. I want a direct answer. Okay? But I have to sit here day in and day out and watch jokers like these two that just went through. I had an altercation with him one morning. That tee box was up more and more in the middle. It was over like it is. Where the kid moved it over today, it was over there. They moved it back to the cart path. I went down and confronted them right off. What are you doing? That's my property up there. I have people walking on my property all day long. Not only do they not have the skill to hit the ball straight to the green, they don't have the knowledge. They're totally willfully ignorant, what we call willfully ignorant of etiquette and property rights. I have a right to have this property be private to me. I have a right for it to be danger-free. I shouldn't have to sit here and worry about amateurs coming up and putting golf balls in my yard and then walking in my yard and trespassing. Under the blessing of the cash register of Sundance Golf Club. All right? We have to do that to get people to play here. If we tell them we can't go in the yards and we start putting up signs, nobody will play here. So I have to be in your bottom line, your balance sheet, profit and loss. You're getting a profit. If I have a window or a solar panel broken today, I'm dealing with your loss. Why? Because you're putting me in a situation where I'm dealing with reckless endangerment and being assaulted every day. Assaulted as far as trespass, and assaulted as far as danger to my property and anybody who's sitting on it. Yeah. And to continue my spiel, that is the worst place. If you want a slow play on the weekend, put the pin back there. Anytime you put the pin back there and the tee box is where it is, they can hit a perfect shot, have it land a foot by the pin. If it runs and it doesn't have any brakes on it, it goes into the back. You know what that causes? A foursome search for the ball back there for 5 minutes. Well, you got three groups waiting on the green. You got 3 groups waiting on the green. You got a foursome up there of, again, willful ignorance. They don't know that they should be playing fast. They don't know that they've got 2 holes open in front of them. There isn't a marshal up here to tell them to move along. All right? So they spend 10, 15 minutes back there in the DMZ looking for this golf ball while everybody sits there and watches them. On the weekends, if you're booked heavy on the weekends, do me a favor. Move first of all, move the pin up where the pin is around the bailout area. Okay? So everybody has a chance to get near the pin. Okay? And you're not hitting balls over the pin. Whenever you hit a ball over a pin, that's a 15-minute search back there while people are waiting here. And another thing you do is move the tee boxes up here. These are amateurs. On the weekends, you got predominantly amateur, beginners, whatever. People have brought out here, never played before. A threesome adds another guy and wants to make him part of the foursome. Why put him back there? The guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's doing calculus every day. Give the guy a shot to be a hero. Move all the tee boxes up and move the pin up so that all day long you don't have bottlenecks. When you put a pin back there and you've got a bunch of young guys, they're great. They got the game, they hit it back to the pin. But anywhere along the back of that green on the weekend, you're asking for a 10, 15 minute search for the ball. And then when you put the tee box way back on the corner, you're asking an amateur, a beginner, somebody's never taken a lesson to hit the whole shot. Move it up. You got people waiting to hit. And you got search parties going down there because you made the hole difficult. Make it easy on the weekend. Some of these players, I took a lady out to play golf here once, and the course was set up hard. By the time we got done 18 holes, she was ready to kill me. She'd had to hit about 150 shots. That's what it is for a beginner that comes out here. If you set up this course hard on the weekends, maybe the first time he came out and played, all he knows is I was in trouble all day long. I never felt comfortable on the tee that I had the game to make the shot. I was over swinging. I didn't know what I was doing. This is what I deal with day in and day out. Recognize it. This is the new golf culture. This golf course was built after the turn of the century. This is the new business model for golf. It's intimate. I'm right here. Now, if Charlie Waters can call up and make a verbal that he feels threatened by me whenever I show up in a meeting with hard questions, and I never talk to him after that. I don't even know who he is, what he is, or whatever. I don't care. All right? I think he has some gender identity problems from what I see in from the photos of the parties you guys throw. But that's all I'll say about that. But I'm going to leave the camera right here. And all day long, you're going to watch the circus. Okay?